I'm going to be trying out a new recipe today. It is rice with black beans and chickpeas. This recipe is actually from Bethlehem, so it looked really good. I found it online, thought I would share it with all of you. This is what you're going to need besides the ground turkey, which I have defrosting in the microwave. But you're going to need chicken stock, and I of course have the unsalted because I'm on that really low salt diet for my heart. You're going to need extra virgin olive oil, chickpeas, black beans, ground turmeric, cayenne pepper, cumin, garlic, coriander, a red onion, and a red bell pepper, and then the basmati rice. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I hope I got it right. So let's get started. Put all of the spices into a little dish. Aren't they pretty? I'm going to go ahead and chop up the whole red onion, and I'm only going to use about half of the red pepper. To the skillet, we're going to add a tablespoon of the olive oil. I put a little bit extra in. And to that, we're going to add the onion and a little bit of the red pepper. Those seem to bother me. I can eat onions and stuff. It doesn't bother me a bit, but for some reason, green peppers, red peppers, they all bother my stomach. So I only put a little bit of that in there. I'm going to let this cook a little bit until both the black beans and the chickpeas, we are going to rinse and drain them real well. I'm going to go ahead and put them both in here together. Now, I've never used this type of rice before, but you do it just like you do any other rice. I'm going to rinse that about 3 times. And this was the 3rd time. It's still a little bit white, milky looking, so I'm going to do it one more time. Alright, to this mixture we are going to add all of those spices in. Along with the rice. We're going to let this cook for about 5 minutes. Alright, now we are going to add the chicken stock. After this reaches boil, we're going to then turn down the heat. Now it's reached boil. We're going to turn the stove down to low and cover it. And let that simmer for 20 minutes. So in the other pan, I have the rice and all the seasonings simmering. They've got 10 more minutes to go. While I was doing that, I went ahead and put in the ground turkey, got that all finished, and got that done. Added in all the beans, so I'm letting them all warm up together. And then when the rice stuff is done, we will pour the ground turkey and beans into the rice mixture. I just wanted to say you can also use like ground chicken, ground beef, ground venison, whatever type of meat that you have handy. The recipe did call for turkey, and that's what I had in my freezer, so that's what I used. But remember, on all the recipes that I make, you can use what you have, and most of the time it's going to taste just as good. The recipe did call for fresh parsley and fresh cilantro. I do not have fresh, and I do have them in dried, so I might put a little bit once the meal gets completed. I will show you as I plate up our meals. And there is the finished meal. Now I will say on the recipe that it said to use 2 cans of the chickpeas and 2 cans of black beans, and I didn't have them. I only had 1 of each, and I thought that's probably all it's going to need, and I'm glad that I didn't go buy any more because I think that is a really good ratio of beans to the ground turkey and the rice. So I am going to go eat my dinner, And actually, Steve is going to eat with me today. He usually doesn't like the meals that I fix because I've been on this heart healthy thing. Like, my food does not have any salt added to it at all. And his, of course, will have salt added. But I'm so glad to say that Steve is actually eating this meal with me. So everyone have a blessed day, and we will talk to you on the next video. I did want to come back on here and say that it was delicious. Even Steve liked it. But the only thing is, it was a little spicy for me. And instead of using a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, I think I would actually go with 1/4 of a teaspoon because it liked to burn me up. But it was delicious. So if you like hot food, keep the cayenne pepper at a teaspoon. But if you're like me and you don't really care for it really, really hot, you might want to drop that down or even just not use it at all. But it's got a thumbs up from both Steve and I, and we will definitely fix it again. Enjoy! Judge not, that ye be not judged. For with what judgment you judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure ye mete, it shall be measured to you again. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considereth not the beam that is in thine own eye? Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, Let me pull out the mote out of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own eye? Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye.